Welcome back, Devils fans. And it is nearly 24 hours. It's a little less, but the night after the Boston Massacre, I originally videoed a little segment shortly after the game ended, and then I rewatched it, and I decided not to post it. It was severely negative, and as I've told you all, one of my many New Year's resolutions is to be less negative, and specifically about goaltending with the Devils, and the video was very negative overall and extremely negative towards the goaltending of the New Jersey Devils. And so I decided I'm going to cool off. I'm going to wait like a 24-hour almost period, cool off a little bit before I ranted to you all on my camera on this channel. And so while I am slightly calmer than I was last night, the reality is I am still extremely livid at last night's performance by the boys in Boston. And I'll just start off with the only positive takeaways from the game for me was that the power play scored again, which was struggling for a couple weeks. And the power play scored again, and Lukehughes continues to make highlight reel plays and continues to develop into the young stud that we all hoped he would be. And I think that's where my positivity regarding last night ends. And so the ugly portion of the game. The ugly portion of the game being when you're up 2-0, and especially against a great team on the road, you have to win the game. That is it. You play to win the game. You play to win the game. We were up 2-0, and I'm not going to lie, Vanecek in net, you all know, I said I would have started Dawes, and I also said there was no way the coaching staff would do it. But I have no faith in Vanecek, and last night is the latest chapter of why I have no faith in Vanecek. Unfortunately, I have no faith in Vanecek because he's not an NHL quality goaltender. That is it. I'm tired of the few of you coming at me in the comments. There's nothing to say. Look at the numbers. Blame whoever you want. There's no one to blame other than him. He is not an NHL goaltender. I take that back. There is someone else to blame. Lindy and Fitzgerald for allowing the charade to continue. I am taking a stand. I will not attend another Devils game until this guy is not on our roster. I am tired of having my intelligence insulted by the coaching staff and the executives. This guy is not a starting goalie, and he should never start another game for the New Jersey Devils. At this point, play Dawes every night. You don't want, again, you guys know I like Akira. I still don't think he got his fair shot, but fine. He's in Utica now. That's a whole different topic of the mismanagement of Akira Schmid and what I believe is happening to his psyche at the moment. But if you're going to have Dawes and Vanecek as the tandem, play Dawes every single night. And the reason for that is he's not going to do worse than Vanecek. He can't. He absolutely can't. Another stinker from Vanecek. Not every goal is 100% his fault, but in the end, you need to make some saves. Another horrific poke check attempt. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me. I'm just getting ahead of myself. I'm a little flustered. That goal was because of a botched Marty Brodeur. He thought he was Marty back there trying to play the puck. Got stripped by Marchand, and he gets lit up. I mean, what are you even doing coming out of the net? You're not a puck-handling goalie. Stay your ass in the net. And we saw some more of the freestyle, backstroke. I even think he threw in some butterfly last night. This guy's swimming around, has no idea where the puck is. I've never been less confident in a Devils goalie in my entire life. In my entire life, there's never been a goalie that I was less confident in than Vitek-Vanecek. Look at the tape. Come at me, say whatever you want. This guy is not an NHL quality goalie, and I'm tired of watching this shit. Fitzgerald is now, pay the piper, sir. You put us in this position, and now you got to get us out of it. For all of the great moves that Fitz has made, trades and signings, this and that, the one thing I will agree with the Fitzgerald detractors about is the fact that this goaltending situation has been botched for a long time, and now it's time to pay the piper. There's no way around it unless you're going to play Dawes a lot and really give him a fair shake. But I think we're now to the point of no return where we're fucked. The whole league knows we need a goalie. Vanecek is awful. And Dawes is still somewhat of an unknown. He looked great the other night. And like I said again, I would have played him in the back-to-back. It seems like after the Akira experiment, they're never going to do that again. Fine. And that's another thing that I think is kind of BS. Back in the day, goalies played back-to-backs all the time, and now people act like it's this wild notion to, oh my God, he's so tired. Jackhughes plays every night, right? Toffoli plays every night, right? Lukehughes plays every night. These guys are taking hits, getting crushed by opponents. I have to believe the goaltender is the least physical taxing position, and so the notion that they're so tired and overworked, I think, is nonsense. And this is a fairly new phenomenon. It's the same thing with starting 55, 60 games max for a goalie, and that's only a handful of guys. They're like, this whole tandem nonsense. Not a fan of it. I'm an old school guy. You look at the goalies back in the day, during the glory days of the NHL, to me anyway, mid to late 90s, you had Eddie Belfour, Cujo, Patrick Waugh, Marty, Hasek. These guys were playing a ton of games. So explain to me what happened to athletes, and specifically the goaltender, from that time until now that prohibits them from playing more games. I just don't understand it. I don't know. I can't pinpoint the origin of the whole thing, but it's complete nonsense. And I'm at a loss for words. I don't believe anyone in the organization gives us a worse chance to win than Vanecek. I've seen enough. I've seen enough weeks ago. We're now coming into the new year. Look at the stats from the year. Look at the play. Look at the eye test. I always talk about the eye test. Look at some of the plays. The guy's looking in the opposite direction. He has no idea where the puck is. None. Swimming around. His back to shooters. I'm tired of watching it, and it's an insult to the fans to continue to trot this man out as a starting goaltender for the New Jersey Devils. And I'm going to double down and say it's a farce to even have him as a backup. Who has faith in this guy when he's in the net? Furthermore, you don't think that the players on the team get dejected by this? If any of you have ever played any level of sports, even if it's rec basketball as a child or whatever, when someone blows a game for you, even as a kid, you're like, damn, Matt really screwed us. We would have won the game if Matt didn't suck. As a kid, you know that. You don't think that Jackhughes, Lukehughes, all these guys are like, man, what do we got to do to win a game with this guy in net? They all know he sucks. It has to be the most deflating thing. We're up 2-0 on the road in the second game of a back-to-back, finally trying to get, I think it would have been I think we only won one game thus far, the second night of a back-to-back. And midway through the game, we're up 2-0. It's like, all right, we might get this monkey off our back and beat a great Boston team in their barn. No, we couldn't. And why we couldn't is because we got Vanecek again. And why did we get Vanecek? Because nobody just wants to cut their losses and admit that Fitz dropped the ball in this one, and we don't have a goalie. And so when you try to fix problems on the cheap, Vanecek was a budget signing, and he thought he was going to make something out of nothing. Washington let him go because he sucks. That's teams don't let guys go that are good players for the most part, outside of cap restrictions and things like that. But they don't let someone walk out the door if they're a valuable piece of the team. They saw what he was. Fitz thought maybe he was a reclamation project. Sign him on the cheap and throw him out there and hope all is well. The guy is awful. He's been awful, and it's time to move on. Waive him. Do whatever you have to do. Get him off the team. I am tired of watching this shit. We are now going into 2024. If you're not going to do anything, then play Dawes every freaking game. I don't care, but I don't want to see Vanecek anymore. And the reality is, GMs know they have us by the balls. We're gonna lose some assets to address the problem. I just hope it's not, a wild return, and I really hope we don't trade Seamus Casey. But at this point, I'm not surprised by anything. Goaltending has been our Achilles heel. Everyone knows it, and it's time to fix the problem before it's too late. Massive, massive opportunity lost in Boston tonight, and I'm not sure if I was thinking about it, like, which loss pissed me off more, this one or the Edmonton one? It's a tough one because, yeah, we had the lead against, that's a toss-up for me. I think the Boston one pissed me off more, honestly, because once we were up 2-0, I thought maybe we would clamp down a little bit, protect the lead. But there's no safe lead when you got Vanecek in net, folks. That's the reality. And when he's in net, when we have a 2-0 lead, I'm not confident that we're going to win the game because I know what could happen. In the blink of an eye, they scored 4 goals. I mean, what more do we have to see here? We know what we have, and it's not good. And so it's time to fix the problem. You could all blast me all you want. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know a lot of you are tired of watching the same sad movie over and over again. And I'm sure it's dejecting to the players. There's no way that the players don't feel this way because they're humans. And yeah, I'm sure they like Vitek as a guy. I like Vitek as a guy. But as a goalie for my team, sorry, Vitek, you're not the guy I want to see in the net. The only time I want to see you in a Devils jersey is if you're eating popcorn in the stands like I am, because you do not belong on the ice. Woosah. Okay. in closing, let me know what you guys think about the performance, about the game. I don't know what more you could think other than just negativity like I am. But is it time to part with these assets to bring in a real goalie? What do you guys think about Dawes? And, it's time for Fitz to stand trial soon for the crimes of the handling of the goaltending for quite a while now. It's time to fix the problem. And that's it, folks. That's it. Happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully in the new year we get a goalie. Santa Claus has not delivered on any of my requests thus far. We're, six days from Christmas. I'm still waiting for all the things I had asked for in the video. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Hopefully 2024. Maybe he's a little late. Maybe Santa got delayed somewhere from the North Pole and the things I had requested are coming down the line. That's all I could hope for. Maybe he got stalled in customs. I don't know. But like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends.